not a black hole. Those guys pass it back out. You know, they're good passers.
Would you say this team even feeds the post better than that team with Kevin Love? It seems like that's a fact.
It's early to say. I hope so. Because it's a good thing to be able to play inside out. You know, and have the big guys that can do it.
Coach, to see Josh play the way he did with 4 fouls, what does that mean to you as his coach?
Well, I was really thankful I didn't get his fifth. It was a gamble. You know, so I went back and watched the film, and we had 3 guys in there with 4 fouls, but it was like a 2 4-point game. And my thought at the time was, we've got to roll the dice here and go for the win and not try to shorten the game. So we were fortunate. And he did a great job playing with 4 fouls. He took that charge with 4 fouls, which was a big play. He was a key for us. When the game got tight there again after we had an extended lead and they came back on us, he was the guy that scored 2 or 3 times in a row to start to break it back open again for us. So we need Josh in the game. I thought Brendan came in, Stowe came in, gave us good minutes, but our front line had 55 points between the 3 of them again, and that's a good sign.
Do you want a guy taking a charge with 4 fouls? Do you just tell him play normal?
Yeah, you have to play normal. You have to play the game. And he got like his 4th foul. I mean, you got to see some of the fouls that he makes. He's got to try to avoid it. Like even his first foul early in the game, I'm trying to remember what it was because I was watching it. We took him out just about right after. It wasn't a particularly good foul. It's something he's going to have to continue to be aware of, playing without fouling. That means playing with your feet, not reaching.
Does he get called for fouls just because he's big?
Yeah, and it's typical though. I mean, the biggest guy always gets the least amount of calls and always gets calls made against him. There was one point in the game where the player actually wrapped both arms around him as he was going up to shoot. And he turned and was upset. He got the foul, but it wasn't an intentional foul. And I thought the officials did a good job, but on that particular play, you see, the guy's wrapped both arms around him, and they didn't call it an intentional foul. Josh was upset about it, and rightfully so. But that's how it's going to be.
Look at Zeke's assist to turnover ratio is pretty much 1-to-1. Are you pleased with his play right now?
I thought he did a good job in our last game scoring the basketball. He's looking to score, and he's got to continue to improve seeing the open man. One time he drove and he made a tough basket during a key juncture in the game against the zone, finishing at the rim, and he also had Honeycutt wide open on the wing. But he finished the play, so that was good. But yeah, and you got to remember, we have Honeycutt, is like a point forward. I mean, Honeycutt probably gets more joy and satisfaction out of making a pass that leads to a basket than anybody on the team. I mean, it's just something, which I love as a coach to have a player who's like that. And so it kind of offsets a little bit in that, we have a guy who in many ways plays like a point guard in Honeycutt, how he handles the ball and how he's looking for others all the time. It's not your classic, where the points, the guy always doing that, and the wings are always looking to score. And Honeycutt's very much a playmaker.
Coach, a little over a month into your schedule, are you seeing the development, the progression in your players that you maybe wanted to see from day one, and now they're through here?
Yeah, we're getting better. I think that's clear that our players are improving. That's what you strive to do, is to improve every day, every week, every game, and so yeah, that was obviously a big step to beat a very, very good team, which BYU is. BYU is a very good team; they're excellent, and beat them, on a neutral floor. And they had a good crowd. They probably had more if their bowling wasn't going on at the same time, which I didn't realize till after the game was over. But you could hear when Fredette was announced, that was the biggest ovation there was going into the game. They had a nice crowd that was there, and they're a good coach. It was an important win, and we've got to build on it. We've got to take advantage of it now. Learn from the fact that we had good preparation in terms of our practices and the intensity and the level of focus going in the game. We've got to learn to do that for every game that we play. And that's what good teams do. They have the same focus and the same killer instinct. And our guys are genuinely really happy and satisfied playing for each other and playing for that win. You can tell it was the players got how big it